or A&R at big labels, educated at the IMM, and my focus, visual music. During the first 3 years of the bachelor program, the students have the chance to learn more about these fields. They pretty much get an overview and a taste of all these 8 different subjects. And in their final 4th year, they focus on the one subject in which they are most interested in and motivated for. So it's a program like this. You get a broad overview, but in the end, you specialize. And my own focus in teaching is called visual music. That's a term pretty much 80, 90 years old, comes from experimental film background. And I brought you the definition by Wikipedia. Visual music, sometimes also called color music, refers to the use of musical structures in visual imagery. It also refers to methods or devices which can translate sound or music into related visual presentations. Today, of course, VJs and VJ culture are defining their work as visual music. That's my main focus at the IMM. For the musicians, for the students I work with, many aspects of music have a visual aspect, of course, whether it's a CD cover, a flyer or website, music video, live visuals at a concert or in a club. And the projects we do have a wide range, from experimental film on the one edge to totally commercial events, like huge fairs, for instance, on the other edge. In visual music projects, we consider, I mean the students and I, consider audio and visuals as equally important. That sounds totally normal, but it isn't. And I come from a visual background as a designer, and I know that every designer, director, doesn't see his or her partner in music, the composer, the sound designer, as an equal partner in the process. Usually it's the one who comes from the visual background who gives who gives the coordinates, who tells the musician or the composer which way to go, who makes the decision whether it's good or bad. But we consider both ways to communicate as equally important. And we also take a look at the close coherence between technical innovation, new artistic languages, and content. A lot of times the aesthetic, the visual content, the audio aesthetics are driven by the technology. For instance, Photoshop in the 90s was the aesthetic language of print. So that's what we do as well. So that requires a constant dialogue and reflection about both of these aspects of expression, which means that we are working on developing a language to talk about audio and visuals. Musicians and designers, composers and directors have a different language, which is for me the most interesting part, teaching to learn, and teaching, especially teaching musicians, because I learn a different language basically. They express themselves differently on music. As one example, to know what I'm talking about, so, all just words, I brought you one project, 2007 by Maurice Braun, one of my students, a visual music clip he did in his, I think, third semester, so 1.5 years in his after he started. And this clip called Lightspeed, Lichtgeschwindigkeit, won the Visual Music Award in 2007 in Germany. So that's Lightspeed. So music is very much more abstract than pictures, and if you take the equal relationship serious, the pictures get more abstract, and we are talking more about rhythm and structural compositions. And to talk about visual music projects, for me, as a visually trained person, helps me to get into the language pattern of musicians, and I think vice versa. So my teachings revolve around music visualization, the visualization of music, music structures. This is my choice to start the dialogue with the young musicians at the IMM. It's just one interface. It means that both of us, the students and I, have the opportunity to talk about our favorite subjects. Them about the students, about music, and me about visuals. So it's a starting point, a stepping stone for the communication between the two of us. That means I chose the subject of visual music as the interface for our communication. Could have been something else, because in the end I believe that if you want to call it the real goal of education is to support the students to become assertive beings, self-confident, to be aware of themselves and the context they live and work in, and to evolve their communication skills. I think that that's the real goal. It's not visual music. It's these are the visual music is just, as I said, it's just the interface, just the stepping stone to start the communication and to have a subject we are both interested in. My old professor, the guy I studied with, always said we have to communicate because we cannot understand each other. So it's basically about communication what I'm teaching. Okay, so and what do I dream about when I do not teach? What am I personally up to next? And this is super fresh, brand new, only questions, no answers. Besides teaching, I'm getting ready for a new research project that will concentrate on limerence, a term probably no one of you knows. I didn't know it as well. So what's limerence? Again, I brought a Wikipedia definition by psychologist Dorothy Tanoff, American psychologist, who brought up this term in the late 70s. I think she published the book 79 and she was working on it 77, 78. She was looking for